Hello and welcome. You're tuned into Rush Hour with me, Ankita Saxena. Well, the Supreme Court today took a firm stand on the issue of misleading advertisements, saying that celebrities and social media influencers are equally liable if the commercial for the product or service featuring them is found to be deceptive. What all happened at the court today? My colleague Sumit Chaturvedi is joining in with more details on that story.
Well, continuing hearings in Supreme Court today in Patanjali's misleading case. Today, Supreme Court pulled up Indian Medical Association and celebrities and social media influencers as they have impact on products they, in a way, propagate or endorse. Supreme Court said that these people must use the products on their own, and without that, they cannot endorse the products. Also, in Indian Medical Association's case, the Supreme Court pulled up IMA saying that why did their president give an interview on the eve of hearing last time? So that was something which was not found in favor with Supreme Court. The Apex Court also ordered that the broadcaster, TV channel broadcaster, will now have to file a self-declaration form, and procedure will be needed to encourage that complaints or complainants should come forward and lodge complaints. Consumer Affairs Ministry will also have to have some kind of devise some kind of mechanism so that overall there is affidavit on misleading advertisements case. So today, not just one Patanjali advertisements in this case, but other parties also came under attack by Supreme Court, including Indian Medical Association and influencers and other endorsers.
And well, to decode this, we have with us Harish Bijoor, who's the brand guru, joining us to speak and weigh in on the matter. Harish, welcome to Rush Hour. Harish, tell us, the Supreme Court has come down hard on social media influencers, celebrities and public figures for endorsing products without being aware of the consequences. Will these comments materialize on to any ground rules? Because while the ASCI had come out with certain guidelines, there is no ruling on these norms.
Well, Ankita, a very responsible set of comments coming from the apex court of this country. And I'm totally thrilled to hear what the Supreme Court has to say. We're talking about responsibility and responsible advertising. And when it comes to the process of buying and selling, there are two processes. One is the tout, and the other is consumption. Consumption is done by the consumer, but tout happens across 5 levels. Level 1, the brand owner. Level 2, the advertising agency, who the brand owner goes to. Level 3, the broadcaster, who the advertising agency takes the film to. Level 4, the brand endorser, who's actually out there and endorsing the brand. Level 5, the brand seller, the channel. Now, I think each of these need to be responsible. And what the Supreme Court has said today is really a good set of comments, a responsible set of comments that is going to cause for responsible tout and responsible consumption at the other end.
So, Harish, the Supreme Court, let's go through what exactly the Supreme Court said. They said that it is imperative that the endorsers to act responsibly in endorsing advertisements and taking responsibility for the same. A person who endorses product must have knowledge of the same. But what then should be the purview of responsibility of a celebrity endorser? For example, like while one knows that alcohol or gutka is harmful, is it fair to expect a celebrity to know the ingredients of a biscuit? So what's the purview of responsibility?
Well, I think the purview of responsibility totally lies with the brand endorser, because the brand endorser endorses on the big screen, on the small screen, and on the micro screen. Big screen is cinema, the small screen is television, and the micro screen is the digital endorsement that goes on every Insta and every other vehicle you talk about. Whenever a brand endorser comes into the game of endorsement, he, she, or they needs to do due diligence. And I think they need to understand that due diligence is important. You cannot just rush in where the money is. You need to rush in where the money is, for sure, but make sure that what you're touting, what you're helping tout, is actually a responsible product or a service. And therefore, in comes a whole intermediary level of people today who are going to be helping brand endorsers to do the due diligence on the product or the service that they're actually selling.
Right, okay. So Harish, what according to you is the right way of dealing with the misleading ads? There is no ruling as such that has come out? What should be the norms to deal with misleading ads?
I am all for self-regulation. That is the best regulation. Having an external regulator to make rulings over advertising, none of us want. But it's important for manufacturers and brand owners to stand up and say that I'm going to be doing this responsibly in the future. I haven't, done it with enough care and responsibility till now, but I'm going to stand up and do it responsibly. For instance, I have a terminology which I keep using, which is called the innocent audience of this country. The innocent audience of this country deserves the first right of protection. And that is one, children. How are we advertising to children? Two, the aged, the people who are geriatrics in our country. Three, the actual, set of people who are in rural markets and who are distant from commercialism. And four, the illiterate masses of our country. I think they deserve the first protection. And I think a brand endorser is brought in typically to go across to every single of these segments and more. And therefore, extremely important for the brand endorser to say, is this a responsible product or a service? Am I doing right? Am I doing wrong? And if I'm doing wrong, I will not sign the dotted line.
Harish, a self-regulation has been there for a while now. In fact, ASCI has been speaking about it for a while. But, it has been to know there's still brands, there's still celebrities who go ahead and, of course, endorse irresponsibly. So, do you not think that there should be a regulatory body or norms that should really, be at play to stop this from happening?
Ankita, ASCI has been around for decades. I'm not saying that this is the responsibility of ASCI. Self-regulation, when I say self-regulation, I don't mean a self-regulation body like ASCI. I mean the individual brand, the individual company, which needs to stand up and have a due diligence system within it to say that, firstly, what I'm selling, is this right? Is it all legal? Is it above par? Is it above global standards? Is it good enough for the consumer to buy and franchise? And when you do it, you need to do it in a very significantly responsible manner. And what is that? One of the product items which we ingest, whatever we take in, food and drink and medicine, or both the preventive and curative kind, that deserves the biggest responsibility. The second is what you put onto yourselves, maybe a face cream, a hair oil. You need to be very responsible. It's close to the body again. And the third is what you actually wear, clothes and stuff like that. It's slightly distant. You can be a little irresponsible maybe, but stop doing it. And that's what we are told now. And the fourth is what we see, the movies we see, and which is external. All these require regulation, and regulation not by ASCI, but by the individual brands and the individual companies who need to stand up and take the responsibility.
All right, Mr. Bijoor, on that note, we'll have to let you go. Thank you so much for joining us on this chat.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.